Hello everyone, my name is Dorian and welcome to Road America. We are with the BMW M4 GT3 with the fixed setup. It has a lot of wing, the fixed setup, so the car isn't as fast on the straights, but you can go ham in the corners, so that makes it a lot of fun. Brake bias is at 52, maybe start with 53 and move it a few clicks back once the tires warm up. If you enjoy it, leave a like, and if you want to see more track guides and race videos in the future and other stuff that I do, then subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. So we're coming up to turn number 1, looking for a braking point. It's going to be very easy to find. We have the 3 cone here, so I'm going to brake slightly past it. As we go across it, right around here, let's say, we'll call it the 2.5. So if you have the imaginary 2 cone here, we're going to brake right before it. So right around here, we're going to downshift very quickly from 5th into 3rd, now into 4th, releasing the brakes into 3rd and trail braking from this point on. So I hit the brakes pretty hard and I'm releasing it to 3rd, trying to find the inside curb here. And as soon as I get the right tires on this inside curb, it's gonna rotate the car, so I can be very aggressive on power. You can see me just very early and very abruptly on the power. A little bit of modulation here to make sure I'm not running wide, taking advantage of the whole track here to my left. If you've managed to find yourself somehow clipping this dirt, it's fine. Make sure the wheel is straight. If you're still trying to turn the car, you'd be better off taking the off track than keep turning the car, is what I'm trying to say, because you'll be flying to the right. You'll have nothing to do about it. Now, coming up turn number 2, we have the 2 cone, or the 2 marker, which is here. My field of view sucks. When we have this white line that signifies it, and we're going to brake between that and the 1. So I would say the 1.5, 1.6 is where we start braking, right around here. Again, braking pretty high, 80%, 90%, releasing it gradually into 3rd gear. Don't upshift into 5th gear on that little straight. Stay in 4th, even if you're hitting the limiter a little bit, it'd be easier to brake. You can see I'm quite early on the turn in here. I'm trying to turn in the car as early as I can, take it nice and easy. You'll see trail braking into the inside curb. And as soon as I go over it, again, the inside curb rotates me, so I can be very early on the power. If you miss the inside curb, you're going to have to be a little bit later on power. If you go slightly across the inside curb, it's an insta spin. So that's a really fun line you want to play around with there. Practice these corners, as there's a lot of time to gain and lose there. Cutting a nice short line here, just trying to keep the car as straight as possible on the track. And looking for my braking point, I'm going to set the car diagonally to the outside, brake right before the 2. This is quite early. You can actually brake a little bit later than that, but I like saving the front tires for the turn in here. And I'm going to let the car run wide here, and you can see I'm peaking pretty high, around 80%, but modulating the brake quite a lot throughout this braking pull. Let's take a look at it again. That was pretty quick. You can see I'm boosting it to 80%, now reducing it to 50, now 60%, and now I'm initiating the turn in second gear. Looking for this inside curb. Again, don't go all the way across it. There's a dip here, insta spin. So you want to be on this inside curb. Just clip it a little bit and already back on the power, because again, the inside gives you a lot of rotation. Not slam it to 100% at first, just around 70-60%, and then back to 100. Letting the car run all the way to the outside here, about as much as you can use on this track. Now, on this blind corner, you want to brake early. So we got the right radical sign, the final one. As it starts, you can see there's 3 signs here. The final sign is when we start braking, as my nose kind of go, you know, parallel to it. Staying in third gear for the duration of the entry. So I'm not peaking very high. We're going uphill. It's very important to not slam on the brakes, because A, you're going uphill, it's going to slow you down. B, it straightens out right after the bridge, so the car can become very light all of a sudden, and you can lock up a little bit and ruin the turn-in or snap the rear end. So you want to be pretty light and pretty early on the brakes here. You can see I'm just rolling into the corner, carrying as much entry speed as I can. That's why I'm keeping it in third, and only now, as I approach the apex, as I approach the inside curb, back on the power, and going pretty much full throttle from this point on. So around 80%. Waiting on a little bit of modulation. The car rotates nicely on power, using all of the curb on the way out, and we're through. Now, this corner, you probably don't want to take it flat out. You can, but it's going to ruin your tires, and if you're drafting, no way you're going to be able to do that. At least not with the fixed setup. So, a tiny bit of a lift. I'm going to upshift into fourth, and as I do that, I'm going to lift off the throttle just a little bit. In qualifying, you can go for it. You can try to take it flat out. I was just being conservative, didn't want to ruin the lap. Take advantage of all of it here, and again, if you're about to clip the grass on the outside, just straighten out the wheel immediately, and you'll be fine. Take the off track. But if you keep trying to turn the car, you're just going to snap into the right hand. Now, we have the 2 marker. We're going to brake slightly before it. Right around here, I would say. So 2.2, 2.3. Peaking pretty high. We're going downhill. I got to stop the car. Staying in fourth. Don't upshift into fifth here. And we're going to start to rotate the car right before the 1 sign. So right before this marker on the road. Right around here, you can see me starting to rotate the car. And as I do, releasing the brakes. Again, holding third for a little while longer than I have to, just to keep the car stable and carry a little bit more entry speed. And I'm using this dip. This is a very good visual marker. This dip really sucks the car in, grips on the, grabs a hold of your front tires and helps you rotate the car. So make sure you clip it every time. Throttle brake all the way into it. As soon as I do, I know I'm safe because it's gonna grip the front tires, and I'm back on the power pretty abruptly. Not all in one go, just trying to be relatively smooth at it, because second gear on this car can make the rear end snap a little bit. You lose time, and using the curb on the way out, and you're through. Immediately to the left into the carousels, trying to hug it the whole way through from the inside. So there's a couple different lines here. A lot of people like to take the early part as the first apex, let the car wash out, and then bring it back to the second apex. I like to hug it the whole way through. Look at what I'm doing here. Third gear, up into fourth. We have this kind of apex. Here I usually lift, tiny dab of the brakes, just trying to keep the car on the inside. I don't want to let it wash out at any point. Taking a short route where all the rubber, in my opinion, is on the inside. I feel like there's a lot of rubber there, or at least a lot of camber that's sucking me in. Again, lifting again, just keeping it nice and tight. And a lot of modulation until I feel I can commit. And a good visual marker for that, because such a long corner, is the beginning of this gray curb. As soon as I got a real good eye on it, I'm gonna start to commit to full throttle. If I'm on the inside, in fact. If you're on the outside, it's a little bit different. Let the car go all the way to the outside. Use the outside curb, not a problem, and you're through. This corner is pretty easy with the fixed setup. You're running so much wing, the car doesn't snap at all. So all you really have to do is get the timing right, start to turn in. Obviously use the outside curb, start to turn in before the one. And look for the dip on the inside. So between this curb and the tarmac on the white line, there's a dip. Really sucks the car in. So if you just put your front right there, you're not going to scrub any tire. You're going to be very fast through this corner. When you're drafting, maybe lift a little bit, just to be safe. Taking short routes. And yeah, I probably should have put it in 6th at this point, but it doesn't really matter. If you're drafting, put it in 6th. We're going to brake right before the 3, so right around here. You can maybe brake a little bit later, but I find it kind of scary. I'm trying to carry 3rd through this corner, so I don't want to you know, have to fight the car to turn in. Peaking very, very high, probably one of the highest peaks, almost 100%, releasing it gradually as the downforce drops off, and we're going to initiate the turn in as I put in 3rd gear right around here, so right before the 1. Rotating the car into the inside curb quite early. It's going to give me some rotation, and as that happens, back on the power, around 80%, and now committed all the way to 100%. Use all of the track that's available to you. Don't put too much of the car on this little triangle that's an off track. And you're through. Using the outside curb here to maximize my approach. And I'm gonna put it in 4th and turn in quite early. So right around here. And I'm looking for this inside curb about from the middle. I don't want to hit it right from the start. So right around here is where you want to hit it. If you hit it too early, it's gonna kick you to the outside. It's gonna be very difficult to complete the corner. Staying flat, you can stay committed here, not a problem with this high downforce setup, and straighten the car out and to brake diagonally to the final corner. We have the color variation here. It's just a very simple corner just because of that. So right past it, as brave as you can, start braking diagonally to the outside curb. Try to keep the wheel as straight as possible. Not peaking too high here because we are kind of turning. We're not completely straight, and I'm about to use a lot of the front tires pretty soon. So I'm peaking it around, I would say 80%. That's why I'm a little bit early here. You can actually try to brake a little bit later, trying to maintain those front tires through the corner. Downshifting into 3rd. I'm using the outside curb to open up the final corner. Trail braking from this point on, waiting for the rotation to happen. And as that happens, back on the power, because the exit here is everything. You want to clip this inside curb, gonna give you some rotation. If the car has a tendency to over rotate, don't clip it. If the car doesn't rotate enough, definitely clip it. And using all of the runoff we have here, that's part of the track, no off track here. And we're through. That's gonna give us a 1, or no, a 2, a 203.849, a 1. Yeah, that's ambitious. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, do all those good things. Bye-bye.